on a Jerry Doyle show. That'll be me, JD, your 6 for 3 ATM of Informacion. Loaded up, ready to be accessed. The pin 800-876-4123 on the program where we like our flying a little turbulent, our women a little crazy, and our politics a little messy. 21st of June already. God, where did the month go? Coming up on a big 4th of July. Is it going to be a big 4th of July holiday this year? It's on a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
How does that work? When was it? I don't remember having the 4th of July come in the middle of a week in quite some time. Should we just...
7 years.
Is that what it is? I have the 7-year 4th of July itch? What are we going to do?
Well, the weekend starts on Friday and ends on Thursday.
Yeah, or we should just do the whole week. Take the whole week. You know what I'll do is we'll just move the equipment out by my pool. We'll just do the show poolside.
Nice.
With the whirring of the margarita blenders in the background. Marcelo working the grill. Brad producing whatever it is that you can produce. There you go. Instead of Marcelo working a dials and Brad producing a program. Emails at the website, jerrydoyle.com. And a poll question that's up there for you today. The Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, is stepping up its efforts to crack down on what it considers indecent on television and radio. The question is, who should decide what's indecent or not? Should it be the FCC, the Supreme Court, the United States Congress, or the people who watch and listen? 3% say the FCC. Nobody says the Supreme Court. 3% give it to Congress. 94% the people who watch and listen, which is kind of how it should be. Shouldn't we be the ultimate arbiters of what's in, what's out, what we like and what we don't? And shouldn't we vote with our feet in our seats and not have other people tell us what they determine to be indecent or not? Supposedly somebody flashed, it was, what was it? Somebody's naked buttocks were shown on an episode of NYPD Blue. Charlotte Ross, an actress. Don't you remember the episode of NYPD Blue when they showed Dennis Franz's ass?
Yeah, it was historic. It was the
right.
First Heine.
Now, that wasn't considered indecent? Really?
No, that was horribly indecent.
I work with Dennis Franz. I mean, that's something you don't want to be eating when you see that. I mean, it's really not. It would, if you're actually looking to lose some weight, you don't need lap band surgery. Just put Dennis Franz's butt on loop on your TV and you'll go, maybe I'll just have a few crackers. Cottage cheese? No. Thanks, I'll pass. Anything soft and gooey? No, not so much, not interested. But the FCC is trying to tell us what's indecent and what not. Yet, once again, the government getting involved in trying to decide for us what it is that we should ultimately decide for us. So I'm looking at this consternation of the Supreme Court and the FCC going after Fox and the networks because this supposedly offended people. And I'm like, don't you guys think you might want to take a look at other places? Now, sure, maybe to some, Charlotte Ross's butt might be offensive. It doesn't get me to the point where I lose any sleep for a good reason or a bad reason. It's just, look, there's a butt on TV. Now, I understand kids watch TV and, you're flipping the channels and there it is at 7:30. It's like, whoa, didn't expect that one, didn't see that one coming. But isn't that the parents' job? Shouldn't you know what's on? Shouldn't you decide for your kids what they watch, when they watch? Shouldn't you be monitoring what they're doing on the internet and what they're doing on their iPhones, smartphones, tablets, whatever it is they have these days? But I'm listening to the political discourse over the last couple of days with regard to executive privilege, Fast and Furious. And keep in mind in the context of Border Patrol agent Brian Terry, who was murdered. This guy's dead. And I'm listening to Jay Carney today supposedly not say something offensive or something that might cause people to question whether or not that's something that should be said. Not necessarily what's shown or when it's shown, but what's being said. And in the inability for this Democrat Party, this administration, to feel anything about the death of this guy, here's Jay Carney this morning talking about Darrell Issa, the Committee on Oversight, and the attempts to get Holder, the AG, and the administration to come forward with the documents necessary. This is how Jay Carney sums it all up.
We are 10 days away from student loan rates doubling, potentially impacting over 7.4 million borrowers. Yet, instead of creating jobs or helping the middle class, congressional Republicans are focused on this politically motivated, taxpayer-funded election year fishing expedition. The problem of gun walking was a field-driven tactic that dated back to the previous administration, and it was this administration's Attorney General who ended it. In fact, the Justice Department has spent the past 14 months accommodating congressional investigators, including producing 7,600 pages of documents and testifying at 11 congressional hearings. Yet, Republicans insist on moving forward with an effort that Republicans and objective legal experts have noted is purely political. Given the economic challenges facing the country, we believe House Republicans should instead be engaged in efforts to create jobs and grow the economy, rather than political theater.
Objective legal experts? Now all of a sudden they want to focus on jobs and the economy? Now they're concerned about taxpayer dollars that are going to fund this purely political theater? Really? Nancy Pelosi piped in on the death of Border Patrol agent Brian Terry, and she said the Republicans are pushing for justice for Border Patrol agent Brian Terry is strictly political. Why are they spending time doing this? It doesn't serve our country, and it undermines the true purpose of contempt of Congress. How callous do you have to be? This is the most delusional, dysfunctional, negative, race-baiting, class warfare group of psychopaths that has ever been assembled under the guise of Democrat leadership in America. The fact that they even stand a chance of possibly picking up seats in the House or retaining power in the Senate and re-electing this socialist president is beside me. How is that possible? How is it possible that this lunatic, fringe, callous group of individuals is even up for consideration in November? Brian Terry, Nancy Pelosi, what do you think? He's dead. Let's move on. Really? Okay. That's where we're at, folks. That's where we're at. And for Jay Carney to say, well, we have to stay laser focused on the economy and on jobs. We got to get this economy turned around. We have to make sure we're good stewards of the taxpayer money. Really? Now, I'm not easy on Republicans for what they did under George Bush, doubling the national debt for $5 to $10 trillion. And Obama's merely supersizing what George Bush did. But that aside, is there no decency? Do you not feel anything anymore? You know, if you cut yourself, the skin opens up, you bleed, scab forms, falls off, you got a little bit of a scar. And then it takes a while for all those nerve endings to find each other. Cut yourself in the exact same spot again after that wound is healed. It bleeds a little less. The scab forms, falls off, scar. Keep cutting yourself in the exact same spot over and over and over and over again, and the nerve endings just can't find a way to connect themselves. You feel less and less and less and less until you feel nothing, until you can cut yourself in that spot. It may bleed, may open up, but you don't feel it because you have no nerves. And if you do, they're so disconnected from where they're supposed to be that you may feel something, but you don't truly feel the same pain as you did when you first cut yourself with a fresh wound. This Democrat Party has no nerve endings. They supposedly feel the pain of every disenfranchised group in America. Maybe if Brian Terry's name was Shaniqua Terry, maybe then they'd be able to do something with this because they didn't spin it into some kind of a racial epithet. Hey, let's make her a lesbian, too. Then that would be something they go, whoa, look at that. The black lesbian Shaniqua Terry was killed in the gun-running operation. And somehow we'll blame it on Republicans. And to the people out there who support these lunatics like Nancy Pelosi and whorehouse Harry Reid, do you not have any nerve endings anymore that are functioning and intact and connected and feeling? Are you so blind to how delusional and dysfunctional this Democrat Party is? Are you part of the idiot group, the 45% in the Bloomberg survey, that said you're better off today than you were 3.5 years ago under Barack Obama? Are you that blind to how screwed up these people are? And again, back to the fact that this group of lunatics has the possibility of maintaining some relevance in November. I don't know if it's a worse commentary on them or the Republican Party. But when I listen to this nonsense from Nancy Pelosi, pushing for justice for Brian Terry is just strictly political. Why are they spending time doing this? It doesn't serve our country. It undermines the true purpose of contempt of Congress. Is Brian Terry just collateral damage? Is that where we've gotten to? One dead Border Patrol agent? But hey, if we can spin this politically, we can make something happen. Shameful display of abuse of power. And then Nancy Pelosi goes on to say in a press conference that this isn't really about Brian Terry. This isn't really about executive privilege. This is about the attempt by the Republicans to smear the name of Attorney General Eric Holder in an attempt to make sure that he doesn't go after voter intimidation and voter fraud. Smear Attorney General Holder's name? Nancy Pelosi, we don't have to do that. He's doing it all by himself.
The Jerry Doyle Show.
I'm floored, man. I really am. When you stop feeling anything with any human connection to a human being, I would hope that maybe that would be something that would motivate you to say, let's get to the bottom of this, at least for the family. Let's see what we can do to make sure that another family doesn't have to go through this. No. When that's not your first reaction, when that's not the first cause of action for you to at least go forward, even if you don't want to, you could even use it as an excuse to go forward with an investigation. When you don't feel that to be the path that you should follow, you should get out of the game, man, because you got nothing left. Stick with me.
This is the Jerry Doyle Show.